The Bear Creek Arsenal, Model 201. Let's check it out. Bear Creek Arsenal out of Sanford, North Carolina. They produce a number of different type firearms, including AR-15s, AR-10 style. They do a Grizzly, which is a polymer frame striker fire Gen 3, Gen 4 clone that's actually a pretty nice handgun. But today we're going to take a look at their Model 201. Now this is a 22 long rifle, semi-automatic. It's based on the Ruger 1022. We're going to talk about some reasons why you would choose something like this over the 1022, even though I'm a huge 1022 fan. One of the things that I love is bull barrels. Now, when I first got into shooting and I had my standard Ruger 1022, I would look at these rifles and think, why in the world would you want a really heavy 22 rifle with a big old fat barrel on it? Until I built one. And then I fell in love with them. There is something about shooting a 22 rifle with a heavy bull barrel, especially if you put a bipod on it, and it just makes it so accurate and just fun to get behind that trigger. And I'll tell you guys, this Model 201 is definitely one of those type rifles. Now, Bear Creek Arsenal got in touch with us because they had seen that we're big fans of the 1022. We've done a lot of reviews on the bull barrels and the standards, the takedown, the ultralight. I mean, you know, Ruger does a good job. But we're going to take a look at a different option that honestly is more affordable, but there's a lot of features about the 201 that really I like. So a big thank you to Bear Creek Arsenal. Well guys, the BC-201, and that's for Bear Creek. Again, made right there in Sanford, North Carolina. I love to see these gun companies that are springing up, just producing firearms. It just gives us more independence. That in itself is a great thing, but it also gives us more choices, and a lot of times these companies innovate over the original design. Now this is a semi-automatic, it's 22. It has a Hogue Overmolded stock. This is in the ghillie green. It also comes in black. Now this is 22, but you can get 22 Magnum, and they've just released their 17 HMR, which makes it really accurate. So you have the versatility of 22, you have the more power of your 22 Magnum, and then you have really your superb accuracy with your 17 HMR. Now it uses your standard 1022 magazines, and we have an extended mag release right here instead of it flush, but a lot of the 1022s now are using this, and even more extended. And then you have your box rotary magazines, and these are Ruger. These are very reliable, they're 10 rounds, and of course you can get extended magazine capacity with other magazines as well. And the gun is unloaded. Now this has one of the Bear Creek additional charging handles, which comes out, it's extended, so you have a little more room to be able to grab hold of it, and so that just gives you a little bit of extra gripping. Typically it just has a little curved piece that comes out. This just gives you an extension. Now we have one of the Hogue Overmolded stocks. This is again in ghillie green. It does come in a black version, and these are very soft, they're rubberized. There is a pebble pattern that comes down the pistol grip, but it does have a soft rubber feel to it. And it also has that same pebble pattern here at the forearm. There's a nice ample butt pad that is rubberized, and of course with 22 there's hardly any recoil, but this just keeps it from slipping off your shoulder, and it's marked Hogue on the back. We also have a sling swivel stud right here at the back of the stock. We also have a sling swivel here where we can attach our Magpul bipod, but again this comes in M-LOK and Picatinny. They have a number of different attachment points. Now here you have your crossbolt safety. The other side will show red. This is on safe. Again, we have that extended mag release, and you just move it forward and it drops the mag out really quickly. We have an enhanced trigger, which is red. We're going to check out the trigger pull weight and the action in a minute. Now we have your bolt stop right here at the front of the trigger guard, and so as we bring our bolt back and we just depress it in, it'll rest right on that little ledge. And then if we want to, we just pull back on our bolt, press it, and then we can release it. Now we have a 7075 T6 aluminum receiver, and also we have an integral Picatinny rail that's built in. Here we have one of the primary arms, SLX 1-6. I just used this scope because it was handy. It does have the cantilever mount. It does raise the scope up just a little bit, but you can still get a good cheek weld. And the pick rail is actually part of the receiver. A lot of times on your 1022s, it's drilled and tapped for your Picatinny rail, but this is already attached and it's solid. And this is really going to give you a little more stability on that receiver for better accuracy. Now with the 22, you can attach your small red dot, and really you can get a low mount to make this set really close to the rail and just going to give you a little better cheek weld. And you can also put a micro red dot on here with a pick rail adapter. Really, with this type of more precision style 22, I like to have a magnified optic. You can really hone in your accuracy. Now, the BC-201 is a Ruger 1022 inspired rifle. It'll take all the parts, all the upgrades, all the different accessories, different barrels, whatever you're wanting to do to upgrade your rifle. This really comes pretty much upgraded. I mean, there are some things that you could do to it, but there are a lot of just extra features on this rifle. So it's a very proven design. And one of the things about the Ruger 1022 is it's one of the most modified rifles out there. And there's a ton of aftermarket support. And Ruger has really stepped up, and they're offering all kind of different models, including models that have the bull barrel and even the Hogue stock. It has a 416R stainless steel barrel. It's 16 inches. This is a match grade barrel, and while it's not quite a bull barrel, it's 0.92 inches in diameter. And then it kind of tapers down just a touch, so it gives you that stability of that really heavy bull barrel. It lessens the weight to make this just more portable, whether you're going to the range or the field. And it's 1 in 16 twist. Now you can get threaded or non-threaded barrels. And of course we chose the threaded version because we wanted to put a suppressor on it. It has a 11-degree crown on the barrel, so this is going to preserve accuracy. But with this small little Banish 22 suppressor, this thing is Hollywood quiet. And we did shoot it quite a bit with the suppressor. I mean, you can shoot it without hearing protection. 22 is already very soft. You can use standard velocity. We did have some subsonics, and the action worked very well. I'll tell you what, guys, the only thing I hear is the action moving and the round impacting the bank. These little Banish 22s from Silencer Central are phenomenal. That's a lot of fun. And we really appreciate Silencer Central for being one of the sponsors of the channel. And guys, we were using the Fiocchi 40 grain, just standard velocity ammunition, lead round nose, and it functioned flawlessly in this rifle. Trigger pull action, you can see the trigger stop. You'll notice that it has a little bit of a spring to it. And so as we bring it back, take up to here, and then a really nice break. Reset. Right there. Tactile and audible. All right, trigger pull weight with our Lyman trigger gauge from Brownells. 2 pounds, 0.3 ounces. 2 pounds, 1 ounce. Weight on the BC-201. 5 pounds, 2.1 ounces. Well guys, check out suchgear.com. We have just revamped our website, including monthly giveaways. We also have a weekly newsletter, and we have a lot of merch. We also have patches, which we have a number of different designs, and we do stickers. So check out suchgear.com. Big thank you to Fiocchi for sponsoring the ammo, all made in the USA, one of the biggest suppliers of ammunition in the country. And also, this uses your standard Ruger 1022 mags, and that really makes it nice because there's a lot of options. And these little 10-round rotary mags are great. sweet.
That's funny. That's like a little baby.
Well, guys, we have the Bear Creek Arsenal, and this is their Model 201. It's a 1022 that's been built up. And I'll tell you guys, this Hogue Overmolded stock is so comfortable. We've got the heavy barrel that's in stainless steel. It is threaded. Uses those standard Ruger mags, those little box magazines. And that's one thing that's really great about these is these are very reliable and they're very compact, but then you can get the extended capacity as well. Extended charging handle, which makes it easy to bring back, and a little bit of an extension on the mag release, which with the old style pushing it in, it was, a little bit of a pain. But one thing about this rifle is that it's that proven design of the 1022, and yet, it's really been upgraded. Very nice trigger. Just overall, we've been very impressed, and the reliability has been excellent. I'll tell you guys, I love the 1022. I love the heavy barrel. The bull barrels, man, they are so accurate. They rest on the bench so well. And really, they're still not that heavy. So it gives you a really very accurate option. And yet, it's really easy to carry even in the field. But this is great to sit at a bench and just shoot. Of course, these little magazines, they're so easy to load in. Again, charging handle. I mean, again, guys, this is pretty much a 1022. And it's just a really solid firearm. If you're going to take one of these and you're going to build it out, I mean, these can be very expensive. And so it's great to see Bear Creek Arsenal pulling in some pretty decent products. I'll tell you, they're very reasonably priced. We did the Grizzly before, and I was really impressed with it. And honestly, this has been a great little option as well. Now this scope's large. We put on a primary arms optic. We're going to do some accuracy with it. But you could put a small little red dot on here, and this would be just a great little rabbit gun. Now to disassemble the rifle, we have a screw right here. It is a Torx head, so we just take our Torx wrench and you just want to just remove that screw. Now take your barrel, pull up on the end, and you're just going to remove this whole section out of the stock. Now it is that Hogue Overmolded stock, and you need to get your safety in a middle position. There we go, and it comes right out. Now we're going to remove the trigger pack, but this is the Ruger BX trigger system. It's the trigger assembly, and it's the red. I didn't realize that at the time. It's not necessarily on their website, but I did see it on one of their videos, and then when I broke it down, I saw it. So we're just going to remove the back and front pin, take a punch. They should just push right through. And then we can just pull that trigger pack right out. It's a little bit tight on the end, but there it comes. And this is your Ruger BX trigger pack. No wonder the trigger was really good. Now this is where things get a little different. Typically on your charging handle, it's connected with the recoil spring. Here, the charging handle is actually bolted directly to the bolt. So we're going to take that same Torx wrench. We're just going to take off our charging handle. And you have to take it off in order to take your bolt out. There is a pin here that corresponds with the threaded portion, and this just holds it into place. This is actually going to be a little better. One of the things about a Ruger charging handle is it can shift and it can move. Next, we have to remove this bolt because it holds the bolt in place. And it is a little bit tighter, so we're going to have a little bit of help with our punch and a hammer. That'll fall out as well. Now we're going to pull our bolt all the way to the back. There are two small sections that allow this bolt to come straight out. So you have to pull it all the way back, and at the front, once you get it, just pick it up. Now your recoil spring is attached to your bolt. And if you'll notice, it goes right through this hole. Typically, again, you have your charging handle that's actually connected to this, and it rides on the bolt back and forth. So this is definitely a proprietary bolt system. So you could replace this bolt to use that same charging handle, but for this setup, you're going to have it this configuration. Here's your bolt, very well machined, and right here is where your recoil guide rod goes through. The interior looks really nice, no tooling marks, no chatter. It has been shot quite a bit. And we have our barrel right here. One of the things about a 1022 is you can remove these two screws and you can remove your barrel and switch it out for a different barrel if you want. So these are very easy to accessorize, to upgrade, and that makes it really nice. The 1022 action is very simple, unlike your grandfather's Remington 22 rifle. Now, if you'll notice, your guide rod only fits this close. I mean, it's really close into the receiver, and it fits right here on this ledge. And so we're going to take our spring, go ahead and put it on, and we're going to compress it just a little bit, and we're going to go, because we want to go right through this hole. And it makes it a little bit easier. So here we've got it started. Now what we can do is take this part and put it on that little ledge and then go back with it. And once you lock it into the receiver, just let go of it. And I found this is the easiest way to be able to lock this in. Actually, it's not any or maybe less difficult than it is to get that charging handle to line up and to set. And that makes it actually a little easier. And then we're going to put on our charging handle. And again, this just makes it more stable. You're not going to have any movement in your charging handle with that recoil spring. And you may want to add a little bit of Loctite to that as well. Now take the larger of the 3 pins and it goes right here in the back. And again, this holds your bolt into place. And it's fairly tight, so we're going to again take a punch and just tap it in. And you want to just make sure it's flush on either side. Then we're going to take our Ruger BX trigger pack from the back first. Again, it is just a touch tight toward the back, just snug. So we're going to bring it up and line it up with the holes that are in your receiver. Just like that. Next, we're going to put in our pins. And we're going to tap them in. Again, make sure that they're flush because that way they'll fit into the stock. You'll notice that small lip on the back of your trigger pack and it fits down at the receiver at an angle. So you're going to want to come in, get it into place, just like that, and it should just fit right into the action. Next, we're going to bring our bolt, and this is our stock bolt that holds our action in, and we're just going to go ahead and tighten it down. I believe this actually threads through the stock and then threads into the action, so it really holds it into place. Good and snug. Test for function. Go ahead and pull your trigger, and we're back in business. Now, keeping your firearms maintained and cleaned is vital. Otis makes some of the best cleaning equipment out there. They make a number of different kits that are dedicated for different rifles, pistols. They also have Shooter's Choice, which makes excellent CLP and bore solvent and different cleaning materials. The Ripcord is one of their signatures, and there's a whole system based around it. They are suppliers to the U.S. military. So check out Otis Technologies, highly recommended, and we want to thank Otis for being a sponsor of the channel. So why would you buy a Bear Creek Arsenal BC-201? Well, first off is the price. For a bull barrel target model from Ruger, they're running about double the price of this Bear Creek Arsenal. Now you get your standard models and you can get those very reasonable with the standard barrels. But when you get up to the bull barrel and you start adding features, it does run up quite a bit. The price starts at $345, and that's the unthreaded barrel version. If you get the threaded barrel, it's $379, and that is retail price. And if you can find this at local dealers, your market price can typically be less. So what are some pros and cons? Well, first off, the price, huge pro. Secondly, the Hogue Overmolded stock. All the parts compatibility is a big pro. I really love this Picatinny rail that's integrated in with the receiver. It's one piece. It's going to give you a lot of stability with your setup for your optics. And you can go with a multitude of different style optics. You can go with a big magnified optic. You can go with something smaller. You can even go with a micro red dot. Charging handle, that's a big plus, that it's extended and extended magazine release. Trigger, big plus. You're not having to go for an aftermarket trigger to really get that down. A really solid trigger. The 16-inch bull barrel gives you a lot of accuracy, yet it's toned down just a touch to make it a little lighter weight than some of the full solid bull barrel models. And this one is threaded, and that's also a big plus. What are some cons? Well, these have been released over the past year or so from Bear Creek Arsenal. And so there's got to be a lot of testing done to really give people that solid look around. But from what we found, it is a very reliable and accurate rifle. But overall, any kind of problems that you might have, these do have a lifetime warranty. And they are made in the USA in Sanford, North Carolina. So guys, the Bear Creek Arsenal Model 201, it's a Ruger 1022 clone, but it comes in at a better price and has some features on here that I really like. So check out Bear Creek Arsenal, and again, we really appreciate those guys for sending the Model 201 for this review. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. We checked it out, and we checked it out. How about that? You want to check something out, then check this out. But we're also going to go over a lot of the features. And I'll tell you, a little spoiler alert. These have been double checked. They've been, okay, double checked. We also have a sling swivel here, which actually, okay. Next, we're going to take our Ruger BX trigger system. We're going to go ahead and put it into, oops, no. And a lot of just their standard 22s. Okay, that don't sound right. It has a lot of features. It had a lot of features on it. You ever had a feature? I haven't heard about these people in about a long time ago. That's what I'm saying right there.